Welcome back, everyone. Today we're zeroing in on XRP. It's certainly been making waves, or perhaps consolidating before making waves. We've gathered a bunch of recent analyses, different perspectives really, to give you a solid understanding of what's happening with XRP right now and maybe what's next. Our goal here is to cut through all that data noise and just pull out the key insights for you.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time to look at XRP. Crypto markets are always moving, always dynamic, right? And for a major token like XRP, getting a handle on these technical signals, well, it can be pretty insightful. What's great about the analysis we're looking at is that it gives us these multiple viewpoints, helps see the bigger picture.
Exactly. Think of this as your quick guide to the indicators and the predictions shaping XRP's story right now. Hopefully you'll come away feeling you've got much better grasp of what's driving things. Okay, so let's set the scene first. Reports suggest XRP's been, well, kind of quiet lately. Trading sideways mostly, consolidating within certain levels. What does that kind of calm really tell us in crypto? Is it just quiet or something building?
That's a great question, actually, because calm in crypto, it often means something's brewing under the surface. This consolidation period, it basically shows that neither the buyers nor the sellers have really managed to take firm control. It's a bit of a stalemate. Prices just trade in a tighter band. Historically, these quiet phases, they're often accumulation periods or distribution. Essentially, the market's kind of catching its breath, gathering energy before a potentially bigger move. So yeah, less equilibrium, more like a coiled spring.
A coiled spring, I like that. Okay, so looking bigger picture, at the daily chart, what are the key levels, the foundations XRP is holding right now?
Right, on the daily, XRP has shown some real strength. It's consistently holding above this really crucial support zone between $2.07 and $2.80.
Okay, $2.70 to $2.80.
Got it. Yeah, and what adds weight to that is it's also right around the 100-day moving average. That's an indicator a lot of people watch for longer-term trends. We've seen buyers jump in pretty much every time prices dipped into that area.
So repeated defense of that zone.
Exactly. It's not just random bounces. It suggests there's real underlying demand there. People see dips to that level as a buying opportunity, shows conviction.
That definitely paints a picture of some underlying strength, yeah. So even with this consolidation, is the bigger upward trend still in play for XRP? Or are there warning signs?
Well, the good news is the broader ascending channel structure. That still looks intact, which is positive longer term. It suggests that pattern of higher highs and higher lows is, fundamentally still there.
Okay.
But, and this is important, there's noticeable resistance overhead, specifically around the $3.40 to $3.60 mark. That's acting like a ceiling. Selling pressure tends to pick up there. So effectively, XRP is kind of squeezed between that strong floor we mentioned and the stubborn ceiling. It suggests things will likely stay range-bound, sort of compressed, until something pushes it decisively out of this zone. We're waiting for that breakout catalyst.
Okay, so a real squeeze play happening. And this is where it gets fascinating because different analyses are spotting different patterns on the shorter time frames, right? We're seeing insights about two distinct triangle structures on the 4-hour chart. How do we get two different patterns from the same price action?
Yeah, that's where technical analysis gets interesting and sometimes tricky. It's about interpretation. So first up, some analysts are highlighting a descending triangle.
Okay, descending.
Right. This typically forms with a flat horizontal support level that's our $2.70 area, again, being tested repeatedly. But at the same time, the highs are getting lower, forming a downward sloping resistance line. So the range narrows, it squeezes. Analysts call it squeezing liquidity. It's a classic setup, often precedes a breakout.
Right, building pressure.
Exactly. Now, from this pattern's perspective, if buyers push through, say, $3.10, that built-up energy could carry it towards that $3.40 resistance area. But if it breaks down, if that $2.70 support fails, well, that could trigger a faster drop, maybe towards $2.40.
Okay, so that's one view, but then there's another triangle.
Yes, and interestingly, other analyses point to an ascending triangle.
Ascending, okay, so the opposite.
Sort of. An ascending triangle usually has a flat horizontal resistance level, but the lows are getting higher. It suggests buyers are getting more aggressive, pushing up against that resistance, while sellers are maybe losing steam. It's generally seen as a bullish continuation pattern.
Okay.
So in this view, XRP is consolidating just under a key resistance, and the apex where the lines meet is getting closer. One specific point here is that staying above 2.973 cents is seen as key for maintaining this path towards the apex. And this ascending triangle view has a measured target around $3.12. give or take a tiny fraction.
$3.12, okay?
Yeah, with potential to go higher, although there's also some noted resistance around $3.03 within that structure to watch out for first.
Wow, okay. So same data, 4-hour chart, but two different potential setups. One hinting maybe down first, then up. The other suggesting more immediate upward pressure. What does that divergence tell us as someone watching XRP? Market confusion.
It definitely highlights market indecision, yeah. It shows that while many agree a move is coming, the immediate direction isn't crystal clear yet. For anyone trading this, it really emphasizes waiting for confirmation.
Right, don't jump the gun.
Exactly. You'd want to see a clear break above the ascending triangle's resistance or a decisive drop below the descending triangle's support. That confirms which pattern is playing out. It also just shows how different ways of drawing lines or weighting recent action can lead to different short-term views. Now, focusing on that ascending triangle view for a second, the immediate supports are pretty clear. You've got the 21 EMA.
Exponential moving average, right? That gives more weight to recent prices.
Correct. That's around 2.957 cents. And then the 100 EMA is a bit lower, near 2.9112 cents. Those are your first lines of defense for the bullish setup. If those give way, the next really critical test would likely be down near $2.85, which ties back into that broader support zone we discussed earlier.
Gotcha. So even with these different short-term triangles, if we zoom out slightly again, what's the general feeling about the momentum behind XRP? Is there a stronger current building underneath?
I think so, yeah. When you pull back a bit, you see XRP has tested the boundaries of its longer-term channel multiple times and shown resilience. Some analysts are pointing to what they call bullish crossover signals on moving averages, like a shorter-term average moving above a longer-term one.
Often a sign of shifting momentum.
Exactly. It suggests buying pressure is starting to take over from selling pressure. So as long as XRP keeps making those higher lows, and importantly, trading volume stays decent, the general path seems pointed towards that $3.12 level and potentially higher. It suggests an underlying accumulation might be happening.
Okay, accumulation sounds positive. If this momentum does build and we get a clear breakout from this compression zone, what kind of higher targets are analysts looking at? Are we talking small moves or something bigger?
Well, several analyses are suggesting this could be a breakout from a pretty long consolidation period, and those often lead to more substantial moves. One approach uses Fibonacci levels, those ratios analysts use.
Yeah, for potential support and resistance.
Right. So they see immediate support around $3 and resistance at $3.25. Getting past $3.25 is seen as pretty key for unlocking bigger gains. And looking at the scale of the longer consolidation, some projections actually put a potential breakout target way up at $4.50.
Wow, $4.50. That's quite a jump.
It is ambitious, yeah, but it's derived from the size of the base formation. Within that potential climb, the previous major high, around $3.66, is seen as a crucial level to watch. Price might need to test that area, consolidate confirmed support there before making a run towards that $4.50 target. So it's not necessarily a straight line up.
Understood. And what about other indicators? Are they backing up this idea of building positive momentum?
Yeah, look at the relative strength index, the RSI, on the daily chart. It's trending upwards. And importantly, its own moving average is acting as support for the RSI line itself. That's generally seen as a confirmation of positive, sustained momentum. It suggests the buying strength isn't just a quick blip, it has some technical backing.
That's encouraging from the RSI. Okay, lastly, let's connect this to the wider market. Is this just about XRP's own chart, or are there broader factors feeding into this positive outlook?
Oh, it's definitely connected to the broader environment, too. We're seeing a significant rise in derivatives activity for XRP. Futures open interest, which basically tracks the total value of open futures contracts, has hit about $8.36 billion.
That's a big number. What does rising open interest usually signal?
Well, rising open interest alongside rising price often means new money is flowing in. It suggests traders are actively building positions, anticipating further gains, there's conviction behind the move, and then there's the macro picture. Crypto trading in general is still heavily influenced by expectations around U.S. monetary policy.
Interest rates, basically.
Exactly. Bets that the Federal Reserve might cut interest rates later this year tend to boost risk assets, and that includes major cryptos like XRP. Lower rates make safer investments less attractive, so money flows into things with potentially higher returns, pushing up demand for tokens like XRP.
Fascinating stuff. What a comprehensive look at all the signals swirling around XRP right now. It really does feel like it's sitting at a key junction.
It really does. You've got strong support holding. You've got these competing but indicative triangle patterns suggesting a breakout is near, plus rising derivatives interest. All these technical pieces, when you put them together, they paint this picture of real anticipation building in the market for a potentially significant move for XRP. It's definitely one to watch closely.
Absolutely. And that brings us to a final thought for you, our listener. With all these signals pointing towards potential action, how do you see XRP's current position potentially impacting its role in the wider digital asset world over the next few months? Will we see these technical signals translate into real, sustained momentum? And how could that change the conversation around its future? Something to think about as you keep exploring this space.